May I introduce to you Charles and Margaret Ward? And I'm going to start, and you said I can do this, ask how old you are. Margaret, how old are you?
I'm 92.
92. Charles?
97.
97. Now, I love your array of medals. They're magnificent. Move your arm a little bit, Charles, so we can see the whole row of them. They are beautiful. Now, it's clear that you were in the army. Now, was this during the Boer War?
Second World
Second
War.
World War, okay. Now, Charles, what regiment were you assigned to?
The London Irish Rifles.
Now, were you in the infantry or?
In the infantry.
Until
I was downgraded in North Africa medically from A1 to B1.
Now, did you spent most of the time in Africa, did you?
No, 1 year in Africa and another year in Italy.
In Italy, okay. Now, Margaret, what were you assigned to? What were your responsibilities?
I was in the First Aid Nursing Yeomanry, which was a cover name in the Second World War, which Churchill used because in the First World War they were the aristocracy who could ride horses and go and tend the wounded.
I see.
And so he adopted the Fannies as a cover name. And once you were in the Fannies, you had to sign the Official Secrets Act. We weren't allowed to let any member of our family or friends know what we were doing.
Gosh.
And I trained as a wireless operator, not nice and easy like it is today. You had to communicate then with a key in Morse code.
I see. Now, you were in Africa when Charles was arrived there, and that's where you first met, I think, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And a little bird has told me that you've been married for quite a number of months. Is that right? How long have you been married?
70 years.
Is that right? And you had a lovely card from the Queen, which you've got there, haven't you?
Yes.
Isn't it beautiful? I'm going to show it to the camera there, and there's a lovely message from the Queen inside here, in there. But it's a very, very beautiful card indeed. Now, you actually responded to that, not just by saying thank you, but you took a photograph of yourselves and sent back to the Queen. Is that right?
We did, and there's the photograph.
And there's the photograph there. Isn't that lovely? A great honour, I'm sure, for you to have that. Now, your granddaughter, Margaret, sent you a lovely gift, and you were thrilled to bits with it. What was the gift?
This was the lovely book which the Bible Society have compiled with the Queen's assent, and it is a most wonderful book to be able to see how her faith is so important to her, and how this is why she has been able to be the wonderful person she's been, and give her the strength to cope with every situation.
It's a lovely book. I particularly like the title of the book, which is The Servant Queen and the King She Serves. That's a lovely title of the book. And I believe that here at St Mary's we're going to have copies for us soon after this meeting that we're having today. Now, Charles, you became a Christian sort of in your midlife, as it were. How did you become a Christian?
It was midlife. For many years I'd been looking at why life was. Was I born and lived and died and that was the end? And I put this at the back of my mind for years. But eventually the parish we were in did an all-night of prayer, and they asked for one conversion as a sign of revival. And that was my conversion.
Well, I say. And you were in the church then, both of you were in this church that prayed. And since then you've followed the Lord and and you've been a member here ever since you moved to Aylesbury. That's right, isn't it?
He actually took me to pieces and built me up again.
How lovely. And you look absolutely wonderful for 97.
Yes.
Well done. Now, I'm sure one of the highlights of your life, Margaret, was taking part in the remembrance service each year, and you've actually paraded at the cenotaph for some years now. Even last year you were there, weren't you?
Yes, yes.
And you had an experience at the VE celebrations as well, and you were able to shake hands with...
Prince Harry.
So you haven't actually spoken personally with the Queen?
No.
No, okay. Well, Charles and Margaret, thank you so much for sharing a little of your 90 plus years. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.